There comes a point in life when you realize you deserve more than the endless cycle of empty promises and games. You have to step away, not because you don't care, but because you finally care enough about yourself. I've reached the moment where my peace is more important than playing your games. Silence is my answer, not because you don't have words, but because I no longer have the energy to engage. The games were fun for a while, but I'm tired of pretending I'm not losing myself in the process. It's time for me to choose my own happiness, even if it means walking away from you. You used to occupy my thoughts, but now I've learned to occupy my own heart with self-love. It's hard to let go, but it's harder to stay trapped in a cycle of manipulation and unfulfilled promises. No more answering your calls. No more playing the game. I've spent too long waiting for something real, and I'm finally waking up to the reality that I need to give that to myself. It hurts to let go, but it's even more painful to stay stuck in a relationship where I'm just a pawn in your game. I deserve to be loved, not controlled. I've grown tired of chasing what's not chasing me. The silence between us is no longer uncomfortable. It's necessary. My peace matters more than playing your games. The games you played once felt thrilling, but now they feel like chains. I'm done being a part of your illusion. My heart deserves honesty, not manipulation. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away from someone who has no intention of meeting you halfway. The only game left to play is self-love. I thought I needed answers, but now I realize I need peace. No more games, no more uncertainty. Just me learning to breathe without you. I won't answer your calls anymore because I've answered the call of my own heart. It's time to stop running after something that never valued my worth. You played your games and kept me on the line, but I've learned the game isn't worth my soul. I'm stepping out of the shadows, choosing my own path. I spent so much time trying to win your approval, but I've finally learned that my approval is the only one that matters. The games end now, and my freedom begins. It's not about holding grudges or seeking revenge. It's about learning to walk away from what doesn't nourish my spirit. The games have stopped, and so have I. I'm no longer looking for excuses to stay. I'm no longer waiting for your call. My thoughts are my own now, and they're filled with peace, not confusion. When someone plays games with you, it's a sign they're not ready for the truth. I'm choosing the truth now, and the truth is I deserve someone who doesn't play with my heart. It used to hurt to walk away, but now it's a relief. I'm not answering your calls because I finally answered the call to protect my peace. I've stopped waiting for you to change. and I've started embracing the change within myself. The games are over, and so is my silence. I'm choosing my own happiness. I'll no longer play a role in your drama. I've learned that sometimes walking away is the strongest form of love I can give myself. I've realized that the game you were playing wasn't with me, it was with my heart. And I'm done being the pawn in a game I never agreed to. I'm done answering your calls because I've learned to answer to myself. My heart, my mind, and my life deserve more than a never-ending cycle of games. It's not anger that drives me away, it's peace. I'm not interested in playing games. I'm interested in finding my own way to happiness without interference. I used to think I needed you, but now I realize that I only needed to stop answering the call. Silence is the most honest thing I can give myself right now. I'm no longer playing your games. I've decided to find my own joy without waiting for someone who never cared to play with me fairly. The truth is, I was never playing games. I was just trying to protect my heart from someone who didn't care enough to protect it themselves. I've stopped waiting for your apology, for your call, for your attention. I'm done playing the game of trying to get something that was never truly mine. Some games are just distractions from the life we're meant to lead. I'm finally done wasting my time with distractions and choosing to live fully in the now. The hardest part isn't saying goodbye. It's realizing you've been playing along with someone who never truly saw your worth. I've walked away from your calls because I needed to walk back into my own life. The games may have ended, but my growth is just beginning. I'm not angry anymore. I'm just tired. Tired of trying to fix something that was never broken. Tired of playing your games when all I ever needed was honesty. It's hard to admit, but sometimes love means letting go. No more games, no more waiting, just a quiet surrender to the peace I deserve. I used to be afraid of silence, but now I'm learning to embrace it. Your games were loud, but now my life is quiet and full of possibilities. I won't be a part of the games anymore. I've learned to value my own time, and right now, my time is spent on healing, not waiting. I stopped answering your calls, not because I hate you, but because I've learned to love myself enough to stop being part of something that didn't serve me. I used to think I needed your games to feel alive, but now I realize I am whole without them. I'm choosing myself, choosing peace. It's not that I don't care, but I finally care enough about myself to stop answering your calls. I deserve real love, not mind games. The games were your way of controlling the situation, but I have chosen to step into a space where I control my own peace. I'm not angry. I'm just done. Done with being manipulated. Done with wondering when you'll change. My time is too precious for these games. It's hard to walk away, but I know it's harder to stay stuck. I've chosen my path, and it no longer includes playing your games. I won't answer your calls because I've realized that no call can replace the value of my own self-respect and inner peace. I don't need to play your games to prove my worth. I know who I am, and I know I deserve more than what you've been offering. No more games, no more lies, just the truth of what we are or aren't. I'm done waiting for something that was never meant for me. There's no more room for confusion or second guessing. I'm done playing your games. My life deserves clarity, and I'm moving forward with it. I thought I needed you, but now I realize I needed myself all along. The game is over, and I'm finally free to be who I'm meant to be. Silence is a powerful message. When you stop answering the calls, it's not about shutting someone out. It's about opening a door to a life of peace. The games were fun for a while, but now I'm exhausted. I've decided to rest in my truth, and that truth is I deserve more than these games. I've stopped answering your calls, not because I'm angry, but because I'm learning to find peace in the spaces where you used to occupy my thoughts. I'm no longer a participant in your game of cat and mouse. My heart deserves more than empty promises, and my soul needs to heal. I'm done waiting for someone to change. I've learned to change myself, and now I'm learning to move forward without the past holding me back. I don't need your calls to feel important anymore. I'm important to myself, and that's more than enough. You've been playing a game with me, and I've been playing along. But I've come to realize that my life is more valuable than the role you've cast me in. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is nothing at all. I'm not answering your calls because I've learned that silence speaks louder than words. I've stopped answering your calls because I've learned to answer the call of my own heart. It's time for me to find my own happiness without waiting for yours. You didn't realize how deep your games went, but I did. And now I'm choosing to step away from the chaos, to find calm within myself. I'm not angry. I'm just letting go. Your games were draining, but now I have the strength to move on without them. The moment I stopped answering your calls was the moment I started answering my own soul's needs. It's time to move on. I won't be a part of your manipulation any longer. I'm choosing to free myself from your games and create a life that brings me joy. I've learned that silence doesn't always mean defeat. Sometimes it's the loudest declaration of freedom from the chaos of games. I won't answer your calls because I've learned to answer to my own happiness. I deserve peace, and I'm choosing it now. The games are over. I'm done playing not because I don't care, but because I care enough about myself to stop being caught in them. I've realized that some relationships aren't worth the fight. I'm done playing games that only drain me. It's time for me to take control of my peace and walk away. The calls stopped mattering the moment I stopped needing validation from them. I'm choosing my own worth now and stepping away from the noise. I don't need to play games to prove my love. My silence is my final answer, a sign that I'm no longer willing to settle for less than I deserve. It's not about anger or resentment. It's about recognizing my own strength and knowing I'm better off without the games you've been playing. I stopped answering your calls because I've learned that no call will ever fix the emptiness of a game that never had real stakes. Sometimes walking away is the best way to show love. I'm no longer playing your games. It's time for me to show myself the love I deserve. The hardest part isn't ending the game, it's realizing I've been playing for too long. Now I'm focused on finding my peace.